Hi again, it's Dan Gage with another YouTube harmonica video. I haven't put a video up in a while. I've been very busy. Busy with the band Kingfish Jones, my new project. You know, they say those who can do, those who can't teach. I'm hoping that I can do both. So I put a lot of work, just put some clips up for one of our early, well, this week really, one of our very early gigs. Hope you enjoy seeing what I've been up to. So, been neglecting you guys, but I haven't been totally neglecting you. I've been watching the email, been watching the comments. I write everybody back. I really appreciate all of them. So far, we just crossed 400,000 total views, which is really cool. 1,100 subscribers. So thank you all. Today's lesson, let's get into it. Today's lesson is about practice. I made this one about 3 months ago and never put it up. Talking about how I practice, and you know, this works for me. Some of these tips may work for you. This is kind of what I've always done. So I'm going to try to break it down. Some things that I've learned recently. I'm going to start with the C harp. You know, I play special 20s. Break it down into some techniques. The first technique for practicing, they call it long tones. I just think about tone in general. You know, you really want to think about how each note that you play sounds, because when you speed up, they're going to get sloppier. So the cleaner you are slowly, the better you're going to be when you start to speed up. So it's sometimes a good idea to start and just pick up the harmonica and just play and work on, you know, one note at a time, and working on how to get into the note. Little bend there on the 2 draw. I don't know if you heard that, but I was a little tight and I relaxed and drew the air down a little deeper there. Maybe it wasn't totally obvious, but it helps you kind of relax and remember your embouchure and remember some basics, and it really can never hurt. The old jazz guys always used to do this. So long tones, you know, very simple, but this builds up, guys. Another thing that I like to do is I like to practice techniques. First and most being bending. I like to remind myself, even after all these years, you know, especially if you put the harmonica down for a couple of days and you haven't played because you're busy, remind yourself of the bends, you know. Especially if you're tongue block bending like I do. If you don't practice, the bends go away very quickly. So I'm switching embouchures there. Watch my other videos, talk about embouchures. Changing harmonicas. Oh, let's talk about more techniques before we switch. Practice your octaves. If you worked on that, work on it when you practice. It's all about, you know, your comfort, your fluidity, and being able to move around and do these basic things. Because when you move fast, practice your shakes. That wasn't very good. I do both. I shake my head and my hands. You know, I do faster with my hands, slower with my shake. Again, I don't believe in some of these rules. Okay, so work on your techniques, work on your long tones. Change harmonicas when you practice, okay? This is something that we all we get a favorite harp, or in this case we're playing the C harp because you guys, most of you have them, but if you're gonna play out, it's a good idea to have all 12 keys of harmonica, and it's a good idea to remember to practice the low. Here's a G harp, and the high. Here's an F harp. Now my G is a marine band. One of the things that I do is I play stock marine bands to work on. To me, they're more difficult to play, and they make me work a little bit harder in practice. So you know, it takes a little bit more air, a little bit more control. You need a little more oomph to make the lower key harps go. So it's a good idea to practice the same techniques on the lower ones, so that you can train your embouchure to work through the whole range of key scales. Something that I haven't been doing enough lately. Okay, and then play the high key harps too. You know, your D's, E's, and F's, because it takes a little more subtlety. Sometimes you get to bending a G harp, and the same bend, the same approach isn't going to really work for an F harp. So switch harps. It's really important, because if you forget, you get on stage, somebody calls something in a key, you pull out your G harp and you haven't practiced it in a while, it's not going to be very good. Scales, this one's a shout out to the music, more musical than I, folks. And if you know any scales, and if you're learning scales, practice those scales. There's the major scale. I've been working on the pentatonic scale, which I may or may not do it right. See? Work on your scales, guys. Okay, so I'm panicking. It's one that I learned last year, and I'm not good at. Mix it up with the blues scale there. Well, you don't need to hear me do it. The point is, if you know any, if you're learning them, practice them. Okay, the most important thing, I hope I have time left. I didn't run a timer this time, but I think YouTube is allowing a little bit longer videos now. The most important thing to do when you're practicing is to play your harmonica. So many of you guys, and I didn't mention copying licks, and I've copped a million licks, and I've listened to harmonica music pretty much my entire adult life. But one of the things that I think separates the creative and interesting harmonica players versus everybody else is the ability to improvise something of your own, the ability to create some art and to make some music. And the way I learned to do that was to take all the things that I had learned, all the licks that I had stolen, all the techniques that I've learned, everything, and forget it all for a minute, okay? Turn off the CD player, turn off your mind, don't think, right? Just relax, okay? And don't think, and just play the harmonica. So I'm going to just play this. Before I do, it's the time to make the mistakes is during practice. So don't be afraid to try things that you can't do. So I may make some mistakes here, because this is how I practice. This is a little bit uncomfortable because of the camera, but if I'm sitting here and I just want to play harmonica for a few minutes, I'm going to just take it up and do whatever comes to mind. And that may lead to licks, that may lead to heads of songs, that may lead to tunes. Who knows? It may just keep me in shape, keep me going, so that I don't lose what progress I've already made. And there's no rule. I mean, you can set a tempo and play something. You could just change your tempo. I mean, the point is not to say, okay, what did Little Walter do? Well, let me do juke and work on it 100 times. Okay, work on it 10 times, and then just say, okay, I'm going to play a shuffle and be me, be whoever I am. And if you hear something that you like, do it some more until you maybe work something. And if something doesn't work, do it again until you get it right. And if you only have basic stuff, do your basic stuff. Wow, shoot, look at, I mean, you make mistakes when you practice. Anybody can do that, guys. if this gets cut off, thank you so much for watching. My name is Dan Gage. Check me out. Come to one of Jon Gindick's camps. I hope I can do another one someday. But keep watching, keep writing, guys, and keep practicing your harmonica.